Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jay, and welcome back to my channel. So let me just give you guys a spoiler alert. In this video, I will be talking about the characters in Tekken 8. For those of you guys that do not know, or maybe most of you guys do know at this point, the Tekken 8 base roster has been leaked on the internet. So I will be talking about it and give you my thoughts on what I think about it. So that is a spoiler alert. So if you do not want to be spoiled, I suggest you get off this video right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So anyway, let me just give you guys like a list of all the characters. So a few days ago, like around the time of Evo, this past weekend, maybe a little bit before, there was a leak. Some YouTubers have posted like the full roster for the full base roster for Tekken 8, as well as been circulating on the on Reddit and just other places on the internet. And a lot of people, including myself, thought it was fake. But with the release of Azucena as well as Raven, it's definitely real. So these are all the characters that are in the base roster for Tekken 8. Now I will say there's 32 characters, 3 of which are new characters. So that includes Azucena, a character who we suspect name is Victor, who's like an old looking man. And there was someone else named Reina, who is apparently Heihachi's daughter. And it's also going around, allegedly, Reina is going to fight. It's spelled like this. Here it is, Reina. Apparently, it's going around right now that Reina is supposed to fight like Kunimitsu. And I'm getting this information from what I consider to be reliable sources. So, yeah. So, Reina is Heihachi's daughter that has like the same or similar fighting style as Kunimitsu. Victor is a new character who, based on the image he has, he looks like an old man, and apparently he does like close quarter combat, whatever that means. So I guess some kind of combination of like Nina and Dragunov or something, which I think would be pretty interesting. And of course we see Azucena. So I'm going to actually show you guys like the list I put together of all the characters coming back. So these are all the. I think a visual would do a better job in getting ingrained in your brains for who's going to be in the Tekken 8 base roster. So these are all the returning characters with the exception of Azucena, who has just been revealed, and we know there's going to be Reina as well as the guy who we think name is Victor. So I'll just put, they're not on this list yet, obviously, but Reina is apparently supposed to fight like Kuni, so I'll put her right here. And Victor looks like an old ass man, so I'll be using Sebastian's picture. So Kunimitsu and Sebastian are not confirmed characters for Tekken 8. These were not part of the leak. I'm just putting them here because they resemble the 2 new characters, but these are not returning characters. Okay, I know I just said that, but the internet can go crazy sometimes. But anyway, so these are all the characters that are going to be on the base roster. There's 32 characters total. Now Tekken 7 started with 36. So maybe it's possible that they might add more to the base roster. And when I say base roster, I'm talking about the characters that are available and free to play at launch. So I'm not talking like there may be other characters that have like that have to be like unlocked through the paywall or whatever. I'm not talking about DLC. I'm talking about the characters that are free and available at launch. So it's possible they may add more characters. I'm not sure, but it sounds, from what I'm hearing from my sources that I got my information from, it sounds like this is pretty much it for the base roster. It sounds like they already determined who's coming back and who's not coming back on the base roster. And a lot of people on Reddit have pointed out that Panda and Kuma are on opposite ends of the character select screen, and that they are pretty much like perfect bookend characters. So this looks like it's going to be it. As you probably could tell by the look on my face, I'm I'm not I'm not satisfied with this base roster. So I have my Xiaoyu back. Xiaoyu is like my day one main. I've been playing her since Tekken 3, so I'm happy to see her back. And it wasn't too much for me to be worried about there, but obviously I'm upset that Julia isn't coming back, as well as Lei. They're not base roster in this game. I'm more upset about Julia because Julia is the character I play the most right now, and that I'm actually the best with right now. Lei, I like Lei. I was kind of getting a little turned off lately, to be honest, because I feel like he's really weak. But and yeah, but that's another story. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm this base roster. I mean, it's not. It's solid. I give this an okay. There are some characters that I really do not think belong in this roster at all. Um, Namely Shaheen. I don't think Shaheen should be in this. I'm going to take out the characters I think don't belong. I don't think Shaheen belongs. I don't think Leo belongs. I don't think Zafina belongs. Leroy's okay, okay. Um, I'm not crazy about him, to be honest. I know people may like him. I'm not crazy about him. Yeah. So and the reason I'm really upset about these characters because these are the characters I feel in the base roster that have the least personality. Um, I find that Dragunov has an interesting fighting style, but we already hear that we're having a close combat fighter named Victor coming. So, do we really need Dragunov now? Like the guy doesn't say anything. He doesn't really have. Does he have any character rivals besides just blinking or winking at Raven every now and then? I mean, the character is really dull and boring, and the design is ugly in my opinion. Um, Zafina, I do not like Zafina. Shaheen's very boring. Leo, I find her to be very boring as well, and it's really I guess it's really unfortunate because it seems like for whatever reason, Bandai Namco they keep prioritizing Leo as the main Bajiquan character, and I just can't figure out why. Like I don't see why they seem to prefer Leo over Julia. I feel like Julia's game plan is much more interesting, a lot more. Um, she's not Julia's not a complex character, but her gameplay is more complex than Leo. Like I feel like every Leo I see online does that same thing, that the little pose thing where they lift the little knee up. That's all Leo players do. Like Julia, yes, Julia does have a lot of party crashes in her game plan, but she has a lot more interesting and more beautiful moves in my opinion. And she's a staple character, and she's been every game had a Chang, whether it's been Julia or Michelle, and what else? She has more personality than Leo. Leo has no personality. He does not come off as a Tekken character to me. I always saw him more as like a Final Fantasy type vibe. You know, I'm very upset they included him in the game again. Um, Shaheen, this honestly, I would think I was so like positive that this guy was not coming back. I think, with the exception of Gigas, I thought he was like the other Tekken 7 newcomer that absolutely stood no chance of coming back. I'm mind blown. I'm not sure why they brought him back. The character is he's the most boring character. He's similar to, I mean, in the most boring way, he's similar to Law in certain ways. Like they have some things that they have in common, but I don't think that it was really necessary to include him, because Law and I guess some of Lee's moves are a little similar. So it's like we don't need a hybrid of Law. I mean, we have one already with Lee, but who also brings a lot more to the table with his game plan and moves, as well as his personality. This character is just the typical. His personality is just, oh, I want to save the world, stop evilness. It's like even his design. I mean, his new design Tekken 8, it looks a little bit better, but it's really lackluster to me. I don't get what they're thinking. Zafina, I'm no Zafina fan at all. I think out of these four, she's the most worthy to be back. I think she does I mean, I don't think she would. I would if it was up to me, she would not be in Tekken 8. But I think she deserves to be in Tekken 8 more than these three, in my opinion. And these are just my thoughts and my opinions. I'll go ahead and put them back. I mean, they're gonna be in the game. Um, yeah, I will say. Let me just give a disclaimer to Lee. It's common consensus that Lee is going to be in the game. However, the picture is very low quality, and the like his image in Tekken 8, it does look kind of different. Like he appears to be wearing some kind of shades or something. It does. So I don't want to say it's a. I'm not a. I'm like 80 to 90% sure that that is him. But it does. The picture does look a little weird. But I think this is Lee in the game. So I'm just giving that disclaimer. Like most people believe that it's Lee. But yes, the other things about this roster, it just what's also interesting is that it lacks a lot of new characters. There's only three new characters, which is Azucena and the other two, and I'm not sure why. Like most, I'm not like. Let me get it straight. Let's get it straight. I'm not mad at it, to be honest, because with the route they've been doing with new characters lately, it is like let them have more time to think and really, put together a good character. Azucena, I think she's okay. I don't have a problem with her. I feel like I like the character, I guess. It's just for some reason it's just like I think I speak for us all when I say that this roster just does not feel complete. It just feel like it's missing something. Like yes, they have all like the top 10 staples, like your Bryans, Jens, Kazuyas, but it still feels like it's just missing some characters. It's just some characters in the game. It's like they're missing those characters that are very popular, maybe not the most used, and maybe not like I said, not your like main staples, like your top staples like Law, Paul, and Jen. Maybe not that level popular, but still very popular in their own right. Like honestly, okay, I'm going to add 4 characters to this roster that I think needs to be in order for it to feel like Tekken. Like it just doesn't feel like Tekken. It's too many characters with no personality in this game. Fang's another one. No kind of personality. No personality. Um, I don't know, but yeah. So I think this roster needs Eddie. Where the fuck is Eddie? Why is Eddie not in the base roster? We need Eddie. We need we need Julia. Why is Julia not in the base roster? Who else do we need? We need. It just doesn't feel. You guys are gonna laugh at me. We need Lei. We need Lei in the game. I play him, and I was really looking forward to seeing his new design. I thought they could have did a really. I thought they could do a really good job with him. We need Lei. I have been turned off by the character lately just because it's so obvious that they are just neglecting this character and that they don't give a crap about this character at all. It's like they don't. Do you guys know that Lei has a move that's unsafe on hit? Meaning, if the move hits your opponent, you can still they can still get a guaranteed hit. They can still punish you for hitting them. Anyway, who would be the third I say this roster needs? Maybe him. Oh, maybe her. She needs to be in the roster too. Um, I'm gonna go on a limb and say Mikael. So I think actually no, Anna. We need these 4 characters back. We need them, Bandai Namco. We need them. It just the game just does not feel complete without them. And as far as the Eddie thing, so if you guys look at my Tekken 8 prediction video where I predicted who's going to be on the roster for Tekken 8, Eddie was one of those characters that I said is guaranteed to be in the game, but possibly be DLC. And I think somebody left a comment saying something like, "Oh, this is like the classic Eddie. Like, this is Eddie Gordo. Do you really think they're going to make him DLC, or that he has a possibility of not being in? And yes, the reason why is because he barely made it in the base roster for Tekken 7, you guys. He was the last character released for the Tekken 7 base roster. And I remember Harada, I don't know if he, I remember Harada was stated that, you know, people were asking, where is Eddie? Where's Eddie? And then once they released him for the base roster, I guess everybody got mad, and I guess Harada felt some kind of way about that. And I thought it was also weird that they did not include Eddie in the Tekken anime. I thought that was kind of weird too. So I will say I did see this coming. I mean, Eddie is, in my opinion, Eddie is 100% going to be in Tekken 8, but he's most likely going to be he's going to be DLC. And the most likely, not even most likely, he's going to be DLC because it seems like the base roster is done. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they can, you know, start off with 36 characters like they did with Tekken 7. And if they do start 36 characters, I say add these three. Like, we need these three in the game. Like, it just doesn't feel complete without them. And as far as, I think Miguel deserves Shaheen's spot. Like, put Miguel in besides Shaheen, okay? Please. But I would say I don't play Miguel. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I think he deserves to be an open with Shaheen. And I think Marduk is also worthy of a spot as well. Yeah, if it was up to me, this is what I would have done. I'm gonna put these. I don't want to confuse you guys. If it was up to me, I would have took out. He would be out. Oh, he would be out. She would be out. Well, whatever he is, out, out. Oh, Miguel would take Shaheen's spot. Eddie got to be in. Julia got to be in. Lay has to be in. So these are and Anna and Marduk. So this would make, if these characters were in, this would make the roster. If I took these out and put these in, this would make the roster be 33 characters because I took 4 out and added 5. Right? Yeah. Because I think that Miguel should take the Sheen spot, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, yeah, these characters belong in the game. I don't know what's going on with their decisions lately. It's rather odd to me. Like, realistically, you guys, though, like I said, let's just say they add 4 more characters. If they were going to add 4 more characters to make it 36, I would say Eddie, Julia. I wouldn't say Miguel. The reason why I would not say Miguel is just because I feel like him and Shaheen, I mean, they're different. I think Miguel deserves Shaheen's spot, but I don't like him enough to, I would just say, put him in over these others. I would say, who would I want to put out of these? Anna, Lay, or Marduk. I would say Lay. I would say these 3 just because they're unique. I feel like Anna deserves to be in the game too, but I mean, you do have Nina, who I get is a completely different character, but still similar enough to where it doesn't feel that much of a loss. I think Marduk deserves to be in the game. I think Marduk is really cool and really interesting, but it seems like Marduk does not get a lot of love. But I don't know. These would be these 3 for sure. These 2, either or. But you know, it just doesn't feel like Tekken, and I'm just not understanding some of these decisions. You know, why did you guys put Zafina in the game? Like, Zafina was, so even for Tekken 7, Zafina wasn't even going to be in Tekken 7. Like, only season 1 and season 2 characters were guaranteed. Zafina was just added because the game was really successful, and I guess they couldn't think of no one else to add. So it's really, so for those of you guys saying that, oh, she's in for the story, her story was going to end as Tekken 6. She was not going to be in Tekken 7, you guys. And I guess I'm scared now. Oh, this one. Apparently there's not news, but there's like rumors from who I consider to be credible sources. There's rumors saying that Joshi's going to be DLC. Apparently Harada has confirmed that jokingly to someone that asked him. I guess like someone that's in that circle, I guess. So I would rather him. I do prefer, unpopular opinion, I do prefer Josie over Falcon Rom, but I would prefer Bruce over both of them. But yeah, this one's coming back. So, as DLC though, as DLC. But yeah, this roster, Zafina, I mean, let me leave poor Dragunov alone. Fine, Dragunov stay, but these three right here, these three did not deserve to be in Tekken 8. I would say if it was up to me, I would replace these three with these three. These three deserve it. And if you guys think that enough people don't play Lei, fine. Him. These definitely these two. Eddie and Julia need to be in the game in the base roster, but they're not, and it's just so upsetting. It's so. I guess the part that upsets me the most is that these three motherfuckers do not deserve to be in. They are the most boring, uncharismatic characters. What about everybody else? Um, I mean, I don't have a problem with everybody else. Leroy's cool. Claudio's cool. Of course, I love my girl. June's nice to see her come back. Ash was fine. Nina. I'm thinking Bandai Namco is probably going to realize, or they need to realize, that she's not as popular and loved as they think she is. It's like they trying to make her be that it girl, or the one of the classic Tekken female characters, which she is, but she's not as loved and popular as they think she is. I think people would rather see this one. That's just my thoughts. Yeah, I feel like everybody else on this roster deserves to be in. I don't. Not saying I like everyone. Like, I'm not a big fan of Lars, but I mean he deserves to be in the game. I don't know, you guys. I'm just really upset that these five right here are in the roster. It just doesn't feel complete. And like I said, I know Josie's going to be in it eventually as DLC, and I think out of like the other characters, I think Eddie is probably going to be has the best shot at being DLC outside of Joe. We know Josie is. I'm saying besides her, I know Eddie probably has a really good chance of being DLC. Julia, I used to be so positive before. I'm saying yes, Julia's gonna be a Tekken 8, but I don't know. I mean, she deserves it because, like, according to those unofficial user was it usage rates or usage data, she was like in the top half of female characters that was being used, and that's considering her being, even with her, despite her being DLC, meaning there's going to be a paywall, meaning there's going to be an automatic filter for how many people will play her, because most people are not going to pay money, or people are not as willing to pay money for a character. Someone just texted me. Anyway, but I'm confused. I think she should be, and I feel like it would be wrong for her not to be, but I just can't understand why they keep choosing this dork over her to be the Bajiquan character. I don't get it. I really don't understand. And we know, I guess you can also speculate. So this column right here, this orange, I'm going to change this to be like who I think are the top contenders for being DLC. So Armor King, obviously. Armor King, I'm going to say Josie just at first, just because we know for sure. But Armor King is definitely going to be DLC. So is Eddie Gordo. I mean, can you imagine a tech without Eddie, you guys? I felt like this one was going to be, I don't even know. I mean, it's like they're making Josie DLC over him. I don't know. Are they even considering him still? Because it's like, I thought he should be the main Muay Thai representative, but it's like they still want to bring her back. I mean, why is that? I mean, is including him and Eddie too many black people? Is that the problem? You know, I mean, it seems like they have a black quota, but I'm not going to get into that. But I don't know. Like, um, who else? Considering that rumor has it that which is the new girl Reina, who's supposed to be Heihachi's daughter, is gonna fight like Kunimitsu. I think maybe Kunimitsu may not be DLC. Um, we know Master Raven's not coming back. Chloe and Katarina might not be back. It seems like these two have been combined to make the character that is Azucena, which is good news in my opinion because I do not like either of these two characters. Lydia. uh, do I think she would be DLC? I'm not sure. I feel like she's one of the better or one of the more well received Tekken 7 newcomers, but I'm not sure if she'll, because I remember a while ago when she first came out, Harada mentioned that she will be important to the Tekken 8 story, but she doesn't appear to be the base roster, so I guess he changed his mind. Um, mm. And we also have to consider that some like the season 1 DLC might indeed be new Tekken 8 original characters as well. So you guys, the spots are really limited. This is a sad day in Tekken history. This is very sad. What do you guys think about this monstrosity? It's like no Eddie. You didn't include Eddie in the roster. No Eddie. No Julia. But you want to include Leo and Zafina and Shaheen? Who was texting me? What did he say? I'll respond to that in a minute. I'm working right now. Let me see. Let me just see who are the possible. So I think these characters are the most probable DLC for season 1. I think these characters right here are the other characters that are possible to be DLC at some point. Whether that's season 1 or not, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not confident to say that they will be DLC season 1 or season 1 DLC. I'm not. Hopefully she is, but I'm just not that confident that they'll be season 1 DLC. These three, I'm confident will be season 1 DLC. And the only reason why I'm not confident with these characters is just because I'd imagine that some of the season 1 DLC slots will be taken up by the newcomers, like some more original Tekken 8 characters, as well as maybe a guest or two. Who knows? This sucks, you guys. And I'm so many people are upset. You guys, I wouldn't honestly. This base roster, I'll be completely fine with this base roster if these three were not in it. I know I said that so many times. I gotta end this fucking video. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. So I have Ling Xiaoyu as my main still. I mean, she was my main. Like I said, we go all the way back, but the character does have some limitations. Um, Apparently she's a lot stronger, but sometimes you don't want to fight with the same character all the time, and it's like my other two characters I fight with are just not in the roster, and I don't know if they're going to be in the roster anytime soon. And I'm gonna say Julia has a good chance. She was in the anime. She might have a good chance. But yeah, I think honestly I was doing a lot of thinking. I think I want to pick up this guy right here, Lee. From what I can tell for the Tekken 8 new look, if that is indeed him, It looks like a really awesome design. Looks really sick. And I've said multiple times that he's like all like if you considering design as well as gameplay and everything, like just everything, like him and Steve are my favorite characters, but I like him more than Steve. And I think I am kind of interested to play him. The only thing that's been holding me back was his execution for his combos, which isn't as hard as you'd think. It is challenging. It is pretty hard, but it's not. I think it's easier than Steve's. And I was able to. I'm able to pull a few combos. It takes a lot of practice and getting used to it. It's almost like playing piano, but I really love Lee as a character, and I think maybe this is you know a sign that I should play Lee. You know, I don't know, but yeah, you guys, this is a very, very sad day in Tekken history. I really hope that they bring these two characters, Eddie and Julia. Armor King would be nice too, but we have King already, and I know they're different characters. But like I said, different character. Like I said with Anna and Nina, these are two different characters, but still similar enough to where the absent is as bad. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. Um, Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Um, who do you guys want to see? And not only who do you guys want to see, who do you think is likely to be, the first batch of DLC? And I would say the season 1 DLC is very, very crucial because these are the characters. Because outside season 1, it might take at least a year for us to get any new additional characters. And there's so many people that did not make the cut that we thought would have been a given. Like I would have thought that Bob would have been DLC in the base roster, which he actually probably will be DLC because isn't there like one of the in the New York stage, isn't there something referencing his name? So that's another slot going to be taken up possibly. Yeah, I'm just I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what's going on through their minds right now. But yeah, leave a comment. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Who do you guys want to see? Who do you guys think are going to be? Who do you guys think are probable to be DLC? I know I made a video like one of my later videos was saying why I think Late is going to be in Tekken 8, but I don't know, man. With the way they've been moving, I'm not sure that he's going to be in Tekken 8, period. I mean, if Shaheen and Zafina make the base roster over these characters, over all these characters, and he and her make the base roster, that means anything can happen at this point. Anything can happen. But I gotta end this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.